3 of them that windshield wipers work occasionally, defrosters work occasionally, but most of the time they don't work when you need them. When it rains, defrosters don't work, half the time windshield wipers don't work. They've been worked on numerous times. Those are more of the parts that you have to get from the junkyard. And we just haven't put a lot of money in them, and eventually we're gonna have to do something about replacing at least 1 or 2 of them. We've got the one 2016, I believe, Kenworth that we just had worked on. That was the one that was turned over. So it's really not as great as it was, but we're gonna have to start looking at replacing at least one of those trucks pretty soon. We've got prices for them. They're not getting any cheaper. They're $150,000 to $60,000 with a bed right now for one comparable to the Kenworth we got. And that's all we've got for street department. If y'all got any questions?
Wish you would make contact with the company that's doing the work on Highway 84, or 412, excuse me, between here and Haytide. They're putting the bars in to take out the rumble like we've got in North College up by the cemetery. And see if they could possibly extend their time down here, and if it's a reasonable price, we'll look at something like that.
Okay, will do. We'll do that. They're the ones that are out on 84? Okay.
I'll take it for a ride across there. We'll see how good the work is.
Well,
You better have a lid on your coffee.
they did a little bit of grinding, they're putting the rods in. It's set for resurfacing too. Won't be this summer, but next summer. That's to keep the panels from separating.
Okay. Yeah, we'll get a hold of them, talking about that, man. That's all we've got for street department. Y'all don't have anything else?
Don't want you to say anything.
Stormwater. And Miss Brenda, if we could get this in the minutes.
Okay.
This is, a lot of this goes along with our stormwater permit, informing the council on things. We only have to do it once or twice a year, but we're going to keep up with the minutes every time it's mentioned, which is pretty much every meeting, so we're kind of doing a little bit more than we should have to. During the month of February, we're going to be inspecting 5 to 10 outfalls. We'll do 5 to 10 a month for the year until we get them all done. Also in February, we'll be inspecting storm drain boxes, the condition of them, putting it on the GIS system, so we'll have that in the future if we have any questions about what's going on with those. We're aiming to try to do 10 of those a month. Tomorrow, Victor and myself are going to be working on finalizing the stormwater report and try to get it submitted this week. It's due on February the 28th. Right now, everything's looking good with it. As I said earlier, we're working on Providence Road and South Jackson, do some drainage work there in order to be able to get those overlaid this year. The industrial park pond where we had the washout and had the truck drove off in there, we've got it repaired, the pipe's back in there, and it's good to go. As long as it doesn't wash out again, we're having to keep an eye on that till grass starts growing on it, but other than that, that's all we've got. Thank y'all.
Keith, that stuff you wanted me to put in there, you were talking fast, so can you give me a copy of that?
Yeah, I'll get you a copy of it.
That'll work.
All right.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, could we have the police chief come back up, please?
You didn't come back?
Well, I don't feel we have to ask a question.
Okay, go ahead.
In reading this, it says, when funding through the Highway Safety Division is no longer available, local government entity agrees to make dedicated attempts to continue support for this traffic safety. So they're saying we're gonna have to come up with that money each year if they can't do it?
That's not what that means. Basically, we're gonna support the grant initiative and the BWI speed initiative. Now, if for some reason like next year, we don't get awarded, then the city's not gonna be responsible in any way to keep that going. We have to go through a yearly grant process in order to get this money.
Okay. Says it makes a dedicated attempt to continue support.
Basically, it means we fill out
Support
the
the
But it doesn't mean that you have to.
Yeah.
Okay.
citizens? Nothing at this time. And hospital. Alright. Alright, under unfinished business, trash service.
Hello. Bill Palmer wants to be, well, the mayor and council, I'm supposed to address you, I'm sorry. Bill Palmer wants to be part of this meeting. Can we FaceTime him in or something? Sure. We'll try to get him. Hope he answers. Hey, Bill. We're gonna put you over here. I can't see you. I'm gonna put you right in front of your thing. This is Bill Palmer right there. Maybe you can listen. Oh, the phone doesn't die. We had a committee meeting, trash committee meeting. It's really brief. I'm gonna hand this out to y'all. This is what we discussed. This is what we voted on. This is what we would like to press forward on. Those are something I didn't count. Four. Didn't count myself.
There you go.
Thank you. All right, we had a lengthy meeting on the 30th. Trash committee unanimously voted to bring the following to be brought into a motion and voted on, to recommend that rejecting both bids and the contract that was presented, continue trash service through free market competition.
I'll make a motion to follow their recommendations so we can put it out for discussion.
Second.
So, alright, so discussions that you had.
You know, understand,
Do I have anything else? I mean, not that we hadn't talked about for the last 3 weeks. I think this is a step that we can make, and if you want to keep the trash committee together, we can work on trying to do something different that will help beautify in it. Like I said in the meeting, in the previous meeting, I think the problems can be fixed in another way than just one trash pickup company. I spent a lot of time. Has anybody got a question for me? Does it make, and one thing we talked about in the committee was, after accepting the bid, were we legally bound by that? And Terry, what'd you say? Okay, so I want everybody to understand that. Other than that, I mean, we can beat this thing around, and I don't know, is there anybody have any questions?
We'll be in the horn and put it on the ballot for the city council.
When I was on council, that's what we did, and that'd be great. We've done it a couple times, I think. Back then,
One problem on that, before we go further with that, is you can't get it on the April ballot. And if it's on a regular, if it's on any municipal, election, it's gonna have to be April 24th.
Okay.
Because we're the legislature is measured on, there's only one election, municipal election, and that's in April.
and that would be fine. Basically, I gonna say the people I've talked to, the people that helped me find all the information, we just don't think the bid was correctly done, or we would have had closer bids and they wouldn't be so drastically different in how they were bid. And, I think that's where the problem ensues. I probably would have never been brought to attention if both bids had been read first night and weren't. So that kind of red flag, and everybody said, what's going on? Why didn't they read the second bid? So that caused a problem, but I don't know.
That's the only reason why, like on November 21st, we had a meeting. And, there were several people in here. I mean, Steve was at it. I was at it. And, James was. So I guess my biggest question is, we've gone down this road. I'm glad to see this many people here. But why before, when we had the little town hall meetings and we had all the other ones, that, they weren't brought up, and so, we lost Palmer.
Low battery. Palmer, you still here?
Let's see, it's, oh, that's wrong.
Some of the problem is that it's really,
We had, let's see, myself, Scott Hunter, James Wayne, Steve Penosis, Fire Chief Lance Davis, Property Maintenance, Donnie Folks, Tyler Roberts, Victor Moe, and then Margot Parr were at the meeting. And so, I mean, we went over them. And whenever you were on city council, where did you guys post your meetings?
gosh, I don't remember, that's 20 years ago.
Okay.
In there, probably. No, we put it in the paper. There's no way to read the paper. I mean, I hate to put the paper. I mean, now you can put it on Facebook. I mean, there's other ways to get it out there.
But it's, this one wasn't.
And I'm sure it probably was. You know, and some of the, I mean, why, I don't know why it went through the fire department meeting, but it did.
Well, it's because of the property committee. So whenever somebody doesn't have that, it's going to go through their, it'll go through the property maintenance person who is under the fire department.
Okay.
And so,
And I understand that. And I've had people say, well, I've had the fire department, we write tickets, they don't take care of, blah, 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 there's no city court. I mean, all that's can be fixed and will be fixed. You know, a bid that's $14, and then you get a bid that's nearly 24. And then it just throws up, people are just like, what, how's this? It's because they, like I said the first time, if the bid had been presented correctly, and everything you wanted in it was there, those prices will probably come close together. And but as it is, they're so far apart because one company bid just to pick up the trash, another company bid to pick up the trash and a bunch of other stuff. And the contract is not really exactly like the bid, and so I don't see how you could accept the contract because it's not like the bid, the existing bid. What I asked Terry is, why can't the city write a contract and put that, say this is what it's gonna be, put it out for bid, and let everybody bid it, so that this is what you're gonna do, and then when whoever gets it, put their name at the top and sign it. Instead of saying, well, we want trash picked up and this worked with so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so, and it all worked out.
Call for the question and a roll call vote.
all right, so recommendations from this committee, recommendations from this committee, of the motion seconded.
There is a motion.
Second. So we have a motion and a second, and a roll call vote of what you'd like to do. So your motion is, we
Follow the recommendation of the committee.
So,
Aye.
Move on.
Okay.
Thank y'all.
But does Mr. Palmer, is he still on?
He's still on the phone. Palmer, you want to vote?
Can you hear me?
I'm sorry, what was that?
There's a roll call vote to accept the motion that I sent over. That's it.
He said aye.
I don't understand why we had one committee meeting when that's,
Vote counts as long as
Thank you, Bill.
enough.
I'll talk to you later.
His vote counts as long as there's enough people present voting the same way.
Okay. I mean, I would be glad to sit down with whoever and talk about some of the stuff that I figured, went through and researched and everything else to try to help. Our thing was to clean up in it, and I think it can be done. I think it's not near as hard as running one person out of business and keeping one.
Mr. Mayor, make another motion to keep the trash committee in place, to have at least one trash meeting before the April election. That way, this council will have some input into it, and the new council will also have input if they have another meeting after that.
Okay, we have a motion. Second. Any seconds? All in favor?
right,
Any opposed? Are you and Dennis okay with that?
Absolutely, I'll be glad to help any way I can.
Well, I hadn't heard from them.
Here I am. Let's get out there. I'll be glad to help you. Try to help get the problem solved. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, new business. Ordinance for zoning comprehensive marijuana facilities.
And that's in front of you, we can't pass it now because it has to go to planning and zoning first. I just wanted to get everybody on the council to see it and consider it, and we can take it, probably up at the next meeting. What it is do the zoning for recreational marijuana dispensaries, and basically, not basically, it would be the same as the medical marijuana dispensaries. Same requirements.
And so, planning and zoning, just have a meeting Friday morning. Okay. At what, 8:30? So, 8:30 Friday. All right, the other thing, that, there's a spot on the CLGW board, Mr. Bob Green has termed out. And, I'd like to appoint, Tony Park to that position.
I'll make a motion for that.
And a second. Second, okay. All in favor?
All right.
Any opposed? Okay. Tony's support. All right, mayor's report. Last meeting I wasn't here. I was in Liberia, Africa, and thank you for the time off. We were working with Calvary Love Ministries over there at a children's orphanage, and I appreciate the time off to be able to go over there and put in a 180-foot water well. First time they've had clean water since the mission was started close to 10 years ago, and trying to get people to cook with clean water versus water out of the creek or water out of a shallow well that they pump that has oil on top of it. It's going to take them a little bit of time. But, that was one of our main objectives going over, was getting this well put in. And you should have seen the faces of the kids whenever they built the dorms for the boys and the girls. They did plumb them for showers. And the night that the girls figured out that they were going to be able to take their first showers without buckets was pretty eye-opening. They were dancing out there and pretty excited. So I know a lot's gone on over the past couple of weeks. Been trying to catch up, and time zone has kicked my teeth. I know Steve's was 8 hours, mine was 6 hours, and I'm still waking up 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning, going to bed at 10, 11 o'clock at night, trying to get back on our normal time schedule. But as city business goes forward, it goes forward, and we'll keep working with it. and keep going. But, so for right now, that's all I've got, and we will go to, public comment. But there is.
I have a comment, when I was listening to this, I want everybody to be able to see me. When I was a young boy, I was in a nightclub, and it wasn't a one-way out. And I was sitting with my back to everybody, and everybody got on the floor, and they had to crawl out one door. So that taught me, you better face the door so you can get out of here and not turn your back. You know, I was with the Smith people that was here in Kennet for a long, long time. I guess a lot of you might remember him and his wife. So they sold out. So I joined the Sharp people. They was recommended, like they're recommended now, as good people and all this stuff. So last summer, my wife's kids gave her a cruise trip. And she was gone for 3 months. She left me at the house to take care of everything.
Like you.
Left it up to me, and I did a good job. But for 3 months now, she paid the Sharp company 3 months advance because she took care of the garbage bills. She paid them 3 months. I never saw those people for 3 months. Did you hear what I'm saying? Those people never came by my house for 3 months. But when she got home, I asked her, I said, did you pay these people? Because she said, yeah, I paid them 3 months because you do. I'll take care of it and I'm going to be gone. So I gave them 3 months. June, July, and August. I never saw not one time. She come back when she got back. She called the lady, took about 2 weeks to get hold of the lady. I don't know what kind of phone system they got, but they're not playing games with me. I'm 77 years old. They didn't want to answer that phone. We got technology now. We ain't that ignorant and stupid that we can't take phone calls when they come in and you running the business. We all know better than that. Okay. Another month. She paid them another month. Then 3 months now, they ain't done nothing but took her money. Another month. She had to argue with those people again. They ran one time in the 4th month that she paid them. They came by one time in the 4th month after getting a whole month's pay. That's when I told her, I said, you're a good woman. Because if I'd have been dealing with them people, somebody would have been in jail. I've been over to Deering. I don't play games with people, and people don't play games with me with my money, but they're playing games with my wife. They ran one time the 4th month. That's when I changed again. Now, I'm going to tell the city, if I pay the garbage people, and I got garbage around my house, and that garbage man been paid, somebody going to pick this garbage out of the yard. Because I'm not going to do like I did for 3 months. Haul that garbage on my truck over to my niece's house so I wouldn't have garbage around the house. That won't happen again. So, these people better get this stuff together. I just want the city to know what happened to me. And it won't happen again.
Any other public comments?
I got one.
Mine has to do with trash. We say we want to clean up the city. Right now, with all the leaves gone off the trees and everything like that, if you drive down these streets, some of these lots are an absolute mess. The whole houses are building, they're half falling down. The yard is just full of junk. Go down Anthony Street, look on that one place on the left.
And you go over on Vanderbilt and take a
Drive down
look.
Walnut Street, that house has been burned and gutted for years, just sitting there. Do we not have some laws that would compel those people to clean those up? Or can we not just declare them a hazard and tear them down ourselves? I know it costs money, but if you're gonna clean up this town, you gotta start not just picking up trash, but hauling off all the garbage that's sitting around this town. So, that's my comment. I support whatever they do trash hauling, but there's more to trash hauling than just picking up a trash can. Thank you.
You know, I'm glad he brought that up. I'm glad he brought that up. Over there where I live on North Street, there's a condemned house. I'm almost 78 years old. In the summertime, I mow my yard once every week with a push mower, because I need to exercise. I'm getting too fat. But there's houses over there. Not the whole entire year, the yard was never mowed. The city came out and cut the limbs in the grass from around the stop sign. People couldn't even see the stop sign. But the city came out and mowed. I give them credit for that. They mowed the grass and stuff around the stop sign. So people, Vanderbilt's a busy street going into North Street. There's a lot of traffic over there. Just like a highway den or somewhere. And we got monsters over there. I don't know whether they're groundhogs or what those things are. But there's three of them. There's three of them. They just move up on them old regular houses. They just eat and sleep. You know, it sounds like a joke, but it's not a joke if it's in your neighborhood. Around your house, would it be a joke? No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Like Mr. Willis said, a lot of this stuff needs to be cleaned up. These people need to clean these houses up. I remember some years ago when my mother and dad passed away, and I didn't have time to get over there and get it all taken care of. The city added extra money on my tax thing at the end of the year. I don't know what happened to that, but I had to pay some extra taxes because they came out and checked it. And they condemned the situation, and when I paid my personal tax, I paid some extra money. I don't know what happened to that. But that's something needs to be done about this stuff. These people just, oh yeah, can you imagine in your yard, you're around your house, you never mowed your yard all year long? Can you imagine that? What your yard would look like? You'd hate the fact, wouldn't you? People have to live. Why should people have to live with that? They shouldn't. They shouldn't have to live with that all around your house. When you come out of your house, you look into all this mess. People shouldn't have to live in kids like that, especially when they're paying taxes. We need to wake up. I'm just saying. I know I sound like an idiot in here, but we need to wake up. And some of this mess needs to be taken care of. People need to be responsible.
Amen.
Amen.
Now, if people can't, why can't you add this to these people's taxes? You'll either pay them taxes, or something happened to their property, won't it? It's just that simple. It's not complicated, really. It sounds complicated, but it's not. This stuff needs to be taken care of. I'll take a Tylenol when I get home.
My name is Carolyn Ellis. My maiden name is Brooks, and this is my husband, Charles Ellis. And I'm originally from Kennett. I grew up here, and we just moved back here in December. And I didn't know anything about all of the trash talking that's been going on. But one of the things that we always try to do in communities that we move into